Anybody see the lunar eclipse on Sunday? Yeah, you guys watched it? Awesome. So, according to ancient Vedic time period, it was really, it's a very significant and auspicious time. And so much of yoga as it has evolved today comes from the Veda or the Vedic time period. And at that time, it was actually seen as relatively superstitious to actually look at an eclipse, either lunar or solar. We've come to now know kind of the reasons behind that. And essentially, and it's a really powerful thing now to be able to look at an eclipse. Partially in a solar eclipse, people would go blind because they would look at the eclipse, so they had the superstition around it. For the lunar eclipse, essentially the significance, the auspicious quality that it invokes for us is it's very much, if you've seen it, you maybe you have had this experience, and I did watch it on Sunday night. When the lunar eclipse happens, the sun, the earth is in the middle, and then the moon are all aligned, of course. The earth is in the middle though, so the sun is shining on the earth from the other side, and then the moon's shadow is being cast on the moon. Or excuse me, the earth's shadow is being cast on the moon. And when you look at the eclipse, there's this beautiful spiritual quality to it where you're actually looking at your shadow reflected, because we are all planet Earth. We are the expression of planet Earth through life form. And so to see our shadow reflected back to us is extremely significant in the sense that it brings light, it brings a heightened level of awareness to our own shadows that live within, which appear to us as our limiting belief patterns, the habits that may be holding us tied to old, outdated ways of living things that maybe came from an old wound, or a past experience that just became reinforced over time. So during this time, and it's said in Vedic wisdom traditions that the 3 days before and the 3 days after an eclipse, those energies of the eclipse are still very, very present. So this is a really powerful time to be able to look inward and locate or come to become more aware of maybe those shadows that live within your own self, that may be holding you tied in this more invisible, subtle way to a life that perhaps isn't serving you, or not the whole life, but aspects of life that are keeping you kind of trudging along in the same patterns, and to break free from that. So once our awareness is lighted around an old pattern or an invisible pattern, a subtle pattern, a shadow, that's the first step to release it. And the eclipse energy has been seen throughout time as this end cycle pattern. So it's essentially the end of a cycle and making way for the rebirth of a new cycle. So whatever is the time to kind of assess that and be inward with it. So I think it's really powerful, just the thought of like, wow, our shadow is being reflected back to us. So just holding that in your awareness. Let's go ahead and come into a child's pose. So bring your knees wide, bring your big toes to touch, and set your hips back to your heels. Place your blocks at the top of your mat, just so you have them there ready for you, maybe on either side. And just settle your hips downward. Let weight come into your pelvic region. Stretch your fingertips forward on the earth. Take an active child's pose if that's okay for your shoulders today. And begin to deepen the breath. Engage your Ujjayi pranayam right away here today. Find a subtle enclosure or constriction through the back of your throat, the glottis, the cartilage that exists right beneath the voice box. So as we engage this region, we begin to hear the breath. The breath becomes audible to us. The subtle pattern of breath, just as the subtle shadows that live within the mind, becomes awake and aware to this experience. We become awake and aware to the breath. Bringing greater level of consciousness to the subtle patterns that carry us through this life. This is what yoga is all about. Take 2 full fluid Ujjayi breaths, just allowing for your hearing sense to really take grasp and hold of the breath, enabling its strength, its power, its force to carry you throughout the support of your physical postural practice. Chandra Grahan. This is the Sanskrit terminology for the lunar eclipse. Next inhale, slowly rise up to your hands and knees. Find a tabletop position. Let's take about 30 seconds to just move fluidly through the spine, however you wish to create some mobility, some motion through the spine, the hips, the shoulders, whatever feels good here. And as always, just be mindful with your postural practice today, as we tend to flow quickly from posture to posture in Vinyasa yoga. Use the breath as your guidance system to know when perhaps rest is needed, or when perhaps a down level, or often even perhaps a up level to challenge the body is appropriate. Go ahead and bring your spine back through neutral. Option to either keep your hands flat or bring your fingertips to the earth, lift through your palms. So just asking a little bit greater strength through your fingers. Take an inhale, find a little lift and arch of the spine, cow pose. And then exhale, round through the spine, tuck your chin to your chest, really press into the earth here. Inhale again, lift, super slow with control. Feel the movement happening across the length of the spine in a ripple-like pattern. Find your cat pose. One more straight through center like this. Inhale, lift, maybe a little soft bend to the elbows to encourage greater lift. Exhale, round and curl, straighten through the elbows and press. Inhale again, find a little arch through the spine, cow pose. And then sit the hips back to the heels for child's pose. Now tuck the chin to the chest, rise back up through tabletop, take a cat pose. At the top of your inhale, find your cow pose. So you just take this little ripple-like pattern, and then exhale, sit the hips back once again. Again, with one inhale, tuck your chin to your chest, rise up through cat pose. Top of inhale, find your cow. Exhale, send the hips back. Again, tuck chin to chest, rise up, create space across the back of the shoulders, then find the arch. Exhale, sit the hips back. You can keep moving like that, or lift up back through center, find your cat pose, top of your inhale, lift up through your arch. And then from here, hug your heels into your glutes. You can keep working with that ripple-like movement, or hug your elbows back along your sides, slowly lower all the way down to your belly. Now squeeze your heels into your glutes, find a cobra pose, little lift of the upper middle back. Exhale, send the forehead to the earth. Yeah, they're working on the HVAC upstairs. No worries. Send the hips back over your knees. Child's pose. We take it like that again. Inhale, round up through cat. Exhale, lower the elbows back along your sides. Lower the chest all the way down. Squeeze heels to glute. Inhale, peel the chest away from the earth. Press into the earth. Send the hips back. Child's pose. Again, like that. Ripple forward. Tuck chin to chest. Finally, lift and arch as you lower down. Forehead comes to the earth, then peel the chest away from the earth, cobra. Exhale, sit the hips back. Nice. Take an inhale, lift back up through tabletop. This time, step your right foot outside of your hand. So just right up through tabletop, step your foot outside your hand. You can take your hands to your blocks, or just fingertips plant on beneath your shoulders, inner edge of your right foot. Now drag your fingertips either on blocks or on the earth back towards your hips, so you feel your left knee pull forward. You come onto the flesh of your quadricep, rather right on the kneecap. Draw your shoulders away from your ears and find a lift through your gaze. Take an inhale here. Maybe find a little outward pressure of your elbow into your inner thigh. And then exhale here. Another deep breath in. Lift off of your left knee, skandasana to the left foot. So turn all the way over your left shoulder. Turn your left toes out 45 degrees, sit your hips low. Option to reach your left arm straight out. Squeeze your left shoulder blade to your side body. Left arm, yeah, towards the knee. Perfect. Slowly return back through center, all the way around your right shoulder. Lower your left hand down and your left knee down. Okay, shift your shin over towards the left, come straight into baby Chapasana. Send your right leg back, clasp the outside of the foot. If you can't grab the foot, you can also just take a bend of the knee and work the strength of your hamstring, heel to glute. Press your foot back into your hand if you have the clasp, and then perhaps straight your head back towards your lifted foot. Take an inhale here. Exhale, release the foot straight into your modified side plank. Press straight out through your heel. Reach your right arm straight out from the shoulder. Take an inhale. Exhale, reach further out through the heel. Now inhale, place the foot to the earth. Sweep your right fingertips towards the earth and then land your right bicep alongside your face, side body stretch. Maybe gaze upward, twist the right side body, rib cage up towards the ceiling. Big breath in. Exhale, tip back down through tabletop. Sit your hips to your heels, child's pose. Inhale, round up, tuck your chin to your chest. Exhale, squeeze your heels to your glutes, lower all the way down to your belly. Inhale, lift, cobra pose. Send it back over your knees, child's pose. Inhale, lift back up to tabletop. Step your left foot outside your hand, runner's lunge. Pause here. So fingertips either to earth or blocks, yeah. And then again, press into the earth, drag your palms back towards your hips to peel your chest a little bit further forward. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Beautiful. And then maybe a little external pressure of outer left elbow into your inner left knee. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. As you inhale, curl your right toes underneath, lift off of your back knee. Turn out over your right shoulder, skandasana. Maybe lift the right arm straight out from your shoulder. Squeeze shoulder blade to side body. Exhale, turn back over your left shoulder. Plant your right knee down. Shift the shin out to the side. Take the left foot back into your hand. Baby Chapasana. Nice. Kick foot into hand. Maybe drape the head back. Rotate or pull your chest forward as you kick back. Take an inhale. Exhale, send the left leg long, modified side plank. Reach the left arm up. Reach up. Press out through your heel. Engage your left quadricep. Take a breath in and a breath out. As you inhale, plant your left hand, sweep your fingertips towards the earth, and then reach your fingertips forward in space. Rotate left rib cage up towards the ceiling as your bicep lands alongside your face. Awesome. Breath in. Exhale, tabletop to child's pose. Inhale, come up, forward and up, tabletop. Exhale, bend your knees, heels to glutes, slowly lower down. This time, reach your legs back long. Cobra pose, press through the tops of your feet. Peel your chest away from the earth. Either straight back to child's pose or lower your forehead down first, and then take the hips back to your heels, child's pose. Nice. All right, take an inhale and an exhale. We're gonna take that little sequence breath to movement. All right, inhale, rise back up, tabletop. Step your right foot outside of your hand. Exhale to drag your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, curl left toes underneath, skandasana to the left. Inhale, come back forward around your right shoulder. Lower your left knee down, baby Chapasana. Send your right foot back. Kick foot into hand, inhale. Exhale, reach your right leg long, right arm up. Inhale, right foot to the earth. Reach your fingertips towards the ground, side body stretch. Exhale, turn back around through center, child's pose. Straight to the left side. Inhale, lift up, plant left foot outside of your hand. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, curl toes underneath, send it over your right shoulder, skandasana. Inhale, reach back around through center. Lower right knee down, baby Chapasana. Nice. Kick foot into hand, inhale. Exhale, lengthen through the leg, modified side plank. Inhale, plant the left foot, reach your fingertips forward in space. Exhale, reach your hands to the earth, child's pose. Nice job. Slowly rise up, tabletop position, and then lower all the way down to your belly here. So on your belly, again, squeeze your heels to your glutes so your knees are still wide, and then plant your hands directly underneath your elbows if you can. They're back in space or just a little bit forward, right about breastbone height. Now, squeeze your glutes, send your knees away from the earth, and then lower your knees back down. Lift your knees, lower your knees. Nice. We take this a few times through. Lift and lower. Squeeze the glutes like crazy. Hug the heels to the glutes. Exhale. Lift and lower. Two more. Lift, lower down. Lift up. Lower your knees down. Press it back, child's pose. Whew. Stretch your fingertips for a cycle of breath. Inhale. Exhale. We'll rise back up through tabletop. Again, squeeze your heels to your glutes. This time, plant down through your hands, okay? So whole palms press down. Anchor down through the base knuckles of your thumbs, and then send your body weight forward. So your knees, your hips, your shoulders line up in one plane. Draw your elbows along your sides. Send your chest forward. And then you can either stay here and just work with a little up dog variation, or tricep push-ups. Slowly bend the elbows back along your sides, and then press back up. Lower down, and press back up. Yeah, so the heels are continuing to squeeze in towards the glutes. The triceps bear the strength here as the elbows move back along your sides. 2 more. Lower and press. Lower and press. Nice job. Lower all the way down. Send your legs long. Cobra pose. Press through the tops of the feet. Peel your chest away from the earth. Exhale, lower your forehead all the way back down. Option to either roll up through your knees back to a downward facing dog, or curl your toes underneath. Hug your elbows along your sides and then slow press up, high plank. Send it back down dog. Find your first downward facing dog. So option to move a little bit through the backs of the legs if you'd like, or just stay in stillness. Deep breaths, Ujjayi Pranayam to support you. So good. Take an inhale here. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, gaze forward on your mat. Bottom of exhale, step walk your way to the top of your space. Feet hip bone distance. Grab a hold of your blocks. Place them right underneath your shoulders at the highest setting. And then come into Ardha Uttanasana, so half lift. Press down through your palms, and then find a little dragging sensation internally in the inner body of your palms back towards your hips in the direction of your knees. So you lengthen out your spine forward. Take a deep breath in, lift your kneecaps up your thighs, lift your tailbone towards the sky. And then option to slow lower forehead a little closer towards the knees, Uttanasana, forward fold. You could bring forearms to the tops of the blocks if that serves you. If you have the length in the back of the hamstrings to bring forearms down. Otherwise, just hands press to the blocks. Release weight into your skull. Full breath in. And full breath out. One more deep inhale. Exhale, release your hands back to your blocks. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift once again. Exhale, release back to your fold. Lift halfway, this time pause. Grip your lower abdominal region, either hands to hips or reach your arms straight out by your sides. Press evenly through your feet and slow rise all the way to standing. At the top, inhale, reach your arms up overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, drag your hands down through heart center, Namaskar Mudra. Close the eyes. 2 full cycles of breath, cultivating an intention, a sankalp, or a mantra you wish to invoke into your experience, or perhaps a prayer for yourself or someone else. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Inhale, reach your arms back up overhead. Flip your palms away, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. This time, hands to blocks or the earth. Toe heel your feet to the outer edges of your mat. Toes turn out 45 degrees. Send your hips low, Malasana squat. Okay, so elbows on the inner line of your knees. Press your elbows out as you squeeze your inner thighs back together. Feel what that does to the inner line of the legs. And then send your heart forward towards your thumbs. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Really firmly press, elbows out, knees in. Take an inhale. Exhale, release your hands back to your blocks or the earth. Lift your hips, and then toe heel your feet out a little bit further to the outer edges of your mat. Toes turn out, heels turn in. Sit your hips low once again, and then bring your hands on top of your hips. Press yourself up, shoulders shrug up to your ears. We'll twist to the right. Dip your left shoulder, gaze to the right. Inhale, come back through center. Twist to the left. Take it one time through with your breath. Nice. Slow rise back through center. Sit your hips low. Bring your hands to your heart. Maybe sit your hips just a tiny bit lower. Again, press your chest up into your palms. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Perhaps sit just a tiny bit lower. Take an inhale. And then exhale. Keeping your hips low, reach your arms up overhead. As your palms meet, drag your hands down through heart center as you rise. Turn outer edges of feet parallel, reach your arms straight out from your shoulders. Exhale, forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold. If you'd like, take a little bend into alternating knees here, or just pause in stillness. Yeah, release weight into the crown of the head. Release the jaw. Release the shoulders. Take a breath in. If you're in movement, slowly return back through center. Everybody inhale, lift halfway, hands to blocks or the earth. Exhale, release back to your fold. Again, lift halfway. This time, toe heel your feet back through center. Move your blocks aside. Step it back, high plank pose. Pause. You can always lower your knees to the earth if you need. Otherwise, power up through the front line of your body as you squeeze your glutes from outside in. Lengthen your tailbone back towards your heels and hug your inner thighs together. Okay, take an inhale here. As you keep your knees, or bring your knees out to the side, send your hips back to your heels a few inches, and then exhale, come forward back to your plank. Inhale, come back. Exhale, press forward. Maybe add a little audible exhale out the mouth. Inhale, hips to heels. Shh. Inhale, back. Exhale, forward. Shh. Inhale, back. Exhale, forward. Shh. 2 more. Inhale, back. Exhale, forward. Just powering up through the legs. Inhale, back. Exhale, forward. Pause here. Reach length out through the back of your neck. Either take it all the way down to your belly for cobra pose. You can take a modified version with a cow pose on your hands and knees, or a very slow upward facing dog chaturanga. Hinge forward, lower down halfway. The elbows land at the height of the shoulders. Come to the tops of the feet. Press your arms straight. Drag your hands back towards your hips. Feel your chest forward. And then use the grip of the space between your frontal hip bones and the press of your hands to lift the hips up, roll over the toes, and send the hips back, downward facing dog. Nice. So that's your transition of chaturanga. You're welcome to take up dog, modified version of cow pose on your hands and knees, or you can skip it all together, as well as cobra pose on your belly. All right, take an inhale here, and an exhale. And we're moving on. Gaze forward on your mat. Bottom of exhale, step walker, hop to the top of your space. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, release back to your fold. Bring your blocks underneath your shoulders. Once again, lift halfway. This time, reach your left leg back, one-legged half lift, okay? Rotate your pinky toes towards the earth to level off your pelvis. And then press your fingertips or your hands into your blocks. Drag your fingertips again back in the direction of your right knee, just to lengthen out through the spine forward a little bit further. Keeping everything super strong and steady except for the bend of the knee. Take an inhale, reach out through your heel. Exhale, squeeze your left heel to your glute. Inhale, reach it back out. Exhale, squeeze heel to glute. 2 more. Inhale, reach, press out through the heel. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Take a breath in to reach out through the heel. Travel with your blocks low, step back into your lunge. Keep your left knee lifted, and then bend into your right knee. Send your pelvis to any degree in the direction of the earth as you send your chest forward over your right thigh. Okay, take an inhale, lift, send shoulders away from ears. Exhale, modified pyramid pose. Straighten your right leg. Press down through your right big toe mound. Again, press into your blocks. Drag your blocks back to reach your spine forward. As you take your next exhale, option to find a little bow over your right leg. Take it into a more rounded back hamstring stretch variation. Inhale, lengthen out through your spine. Option again to exhale, bow in. Inhale, lengthen. Now bend back into your right knee. Pause here, ground through your feet. Find your foundation. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Reach your arms up overhead. Beautiful. Yeah, pause here. Lift into the upper middle back. So option to bring a soft bend into your left knee to create lift into the upper spine rather than curvature in the low back. Take an inhale. Exhale, airplane through your torso. Hinge at your right hip. Send your torso out over your right thigh. Squeeze your right femur bone back. Now take your right hand down to your block on the outside edge of your foot. Inhale, extended side angle. So turn your left toes down, your heel comes down, fingertips move towards the earth and then forward in space. Land your bicep alongside your ear and then rotate the left side of your rib cage up towards the ceiling. Take a deep inhale, finding strong line of extension out from left outer heel through hip, through fingertip. Exhale. Now you can stay here or take an inhale, bring your left hand to your hip. Option to launch forward into half moon. Step your left foot forward. Take your block with you to the outer right corner of your mat and then press out through your heel. Now your left hip stacks on top of your right. Press out through your left heel. Engage your left quadricep. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend just your left knee, heel to glute. Without clasping, inhale, reach back. Exhale, press or heel to glute. Yeah, squeeze. Inhale, reach back out. Exhale, squeeze, heel to glute. Inhale, reach back out. Slow and controlled step back into your warrior two stance. Inhale, back to reverse warrior. So first time here, reach up through your right arm. Exhale, take your hands to the earth, move your blocks aside. Plant your hands, step back, high plank pose. Take it through your transition of choice, Chaturanga Dandasana, to your downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take a breath in here. Breath out. Inhale, gaze forward on your mat. Bottom of exhale, step, walk, or hop to the top of your space. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release to your fold. Lift halfway again with your blocks. Lift your right leg back and pause. One-legged half lift. Rotate your right frontal hip bone towards the earth. Pinky toes pull towards the earth to level off through the pelvis. Yeah. And then press out through your heel. Engage your right quadricep. Take an inhale, reach length through your spine. Just bending at your right knee, hug your heel into your glute. Awesome. Inhale, reach back out. Exhale, bend in. Inhale, reach. Engage the quadricep as you press out. Exhale, bend. Last time, inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. Reach back out. Press out through the heel. Slow step back into your lunge with your blocks. Land in your lunge. Bend your knee directly over your ankle. And then lift your chest forward, creating a little bit more space between left rib cage and frontal or top of your thigh. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Take an inhale. Exhale, modified pyramid pose. Straighten your left leg. Reach out through your spine as you press through your blocks. Find that little drag-like sensation of your palms backward in the direction of your hips. Again, inhale, reach the spine forward. Exhale, option to bow forward over your left leg. Inhale, lengthen back out. Exhale, option to fold over left leg one more time. Inhale, reach the spine long, back out over your left leg. Exhale, bend into your left thigh or your knee. Rise up, Anjaneyasana. Reach your arms up overhead and pause. Beautiful. Send your shoulder blades onto your back body. Thumbs pull back maybe an inch further towards the wall behind you. Micro bend into your right knee and then power through your legs to lift spaciousness into the upper middle back. Stretch your fingertips up towards the ears or towards the ceiling. And take an inhale. Exhale, airplane lunge. Send your arms back. Reach your fingertips away from your shoulders. Take your left hand to your block. Send your right hand towards the earth as you spin your right foot open. Extended side angle. Land your right bicep alongside your ear. Yeah. And then reach oppositionally down through your outer right heel and then forward through your right fingertips. Use the reach of your right fingertips to perhaps rotate the right side of your rib cage just slightly up towards the ceiling. Awesome. Take an inhale. Exhale, return your right hand to your hip. You can stay here in extended side angle or take a little multiple step or simply one launch forward onto your left foot, half moon. Reach out through your left heel. You can either keep your hand on your hip for this, or you can reach your right arm straight up from your shoulder. Take an inhale. Again, everything stays the same except for the bend of the knee. Squeeze your heel to your glute. Inhale, reach back out, engage your quadricep, press out through the heel. Exhale, bend and squeeze. Awesome. Inhale, reach back out. Exhale, bend in. Reach back out, take an inhale. Slow step back into your lunge. Find your warrior two stance and then rise all the way up, reverse warrior. Take your left arm up towards the ceiling, breathe. Take your hands to the earth, low lunge, chaturanga of choice to your downward facing dog. So good. All right, we're flowing that sequence breath to movement. We'll take just one bend of the knee in either pose, one-legged half lift and half move. All right, take an inhale, gaze forward on your mat. Bottom of exhale, step, walk, or hop, top of space. Inhale, lift up halfway. Use your blocks. Exhale, release and fold. Left leg lifts, one-legged half lift. Inhale. Exhale, bend your left heel to your glute. Inhale, reach back out. Travel with your blocks, step back into your lunge. Peel your chest forward, send your pelvis towards the earth. Lift. Exhale, modified pyramid pose, bow your chest. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, bend back into your right knee. Pause, rise up through the arms, lift the chest. Exhale, airplane through the torso. Inhale, extended side angle, right hand to block, open it out. Exhale, left hand to your hip. Look down at the floor, either stay here or launch onto your right foot, lift up, half moon. Exhale, bend your left knee. Reach back out, inhale. Slow and controlled step back into your lunge. Reverse warrior, reach up. Take it to the earth, back to your down dog. Awesome breath, yes. Take an inhale here. Bottom of exhale, step, walk, or hop, top of space. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, release back into your fold. Lift your right leg back. Inhale, one-legged half lift. Exhale, bend your right knee heel to glute. Reach back out, breathe in. Step all the way back into your lunge. Use your blocks. Inhale, chest forward, gaze lift. Exhale, modified pyramid pose, straighten your right leg. Sorry, left leg. I got confused. Oh yeah, sorry. Yes, that's it. Okay. Inhale, bend back into your left knee. Rise up, high crescent lunge. Exhale, airplane through your torso. Inhale, extended side angle. Plant your left hand, open it out. Right hand to hip. Stay here or launch onto your left foot. Half moon. Press out through the heel. Inhale. Exhale, bend your right knee. Reach back out, breathe in. Slow step back into your lunge. Rise up, reverse warrior. Take it to the earth, all the way back to your down dog. You're welcome to skip your chaturanga altogether or work with a modified variation. Awesome. Beautiful. Take an inhale here. Slow, smooth, controlled exhale. If at any point you need rest or water, you can take it. Otherwise, we're just moving right along. Take an inhale here. Gaze forward on your mat. Bottom of exhale, step, walk, or hop all the way through to a seat. Okay? Come down into a seat. And then send your body weight back. Take your hands to the earth. Bend your elbows. Squeeze your elbows in. And then lift your knees up to the height of your hips. Yeah, or over your hips, that is. Ankles are at the height of your knees. Okay. Press out through your toes. Widen through your toes. Widen your knees. Squeeze your outer glutes. Bring your knees back in. Open your knees back out. Send your right leg long. Engage through your quadricep. Reach out through your toes. Bring your toes back together. Bring your knees in. Knees out. Left leg out. Pause. Reach out through the toes. Bring your feet together. Knees in. Knees out. Right leg long. Feet together. Knees in. Knees out. Left leg long. Back together. We'll take them both at the same time. Knees in. Knees out. Both legs out. Woo. Feet together. Knees in. Knees out. 2 more like this. Reach out. Bring the feet together. Last one. Knees in. Knees out. Reach long. Bring the feet together. Now knees come in. Okay, bring the feet or heels together, toes wide. You can stay here and work with the hands on the earth. We're gonna press out through the heels and lower the chest down a little bit. Or for more challenge, you'll bring, so come back up. You'll bring your hands like this, palms face forward, and then exhale, powerful exhale out the mouth, press out through the heels. Inhale, lift the knees, bend the elbows. Exhale, straighten and press. Inhale, lift. Press forward, low boat. Low boat, press. Inhale, high boat. Exhale, 2 more. Inhale, lift. Lift. Nice. Lift back up. Hug your knees together and then roll all the way onto your spine. Whew. Take your heels to the earth, close in, setting up for bridge pose. So toes turn in, heels turn out just a little bit, feet hip bone distance. Press down through your hands, slowly lift your hips away from the earth. Squeeze your glutes from outside in, and then you can choose here whether you take your hands to clasp underneath your glutes, press into the entirety of your arms, or you can just keep your palms down on the mat. Yeah, grip your shoulder blades together to create more lift through the upper middle back and lengthen out through the back of your neck. Awesome. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Last one. Deep breath in. Exhale, slow lower your hand, or you release your hands, lower your hips to the earth. Hug both knees into your chest. And then send your left leg long. So heel presses into the earth. You can always take your foot to the earth with your knee bent as well. Plant your hands or clasp your hands on your shin. And then just work a little bit of motion into your right hip. So take a little few circles of your knee. And then from there, let your right foot remain loose as you flex your left heel into the earth. Squeeze your knee in the direction of your armpit. So circling outward in the direct or past your outer rib cage. Yeah. Just work into the inner line of your right thigh. Nice. Very good. Yeah. Take a breath in. Slowly return your knee back through center. Hug both knees into your chest. Send your right leg long. Either long or heel to the earth, knee bend. And then take some fluid circles through your right hip. Knee comes in wide circles in either direction. Maybe try reversing that same direction. And then find your Ardha Pavanmuktasana. So half wind removing pose, squeeze and grip your left thigh bone towards your outer rib cage in the direction of your armpits. As you keep your right heel flexed, yes. Or your ankle flex, I guess, is more accurate. And then your left foot is loose. So the left foot is loose so as to allow for that stronger compression at the hip joint. Yes. Take an inhale. Exhale. Return your knee back through center, both knees into your chest, happy baby. Widen your both knees out to the sides of your space. You can either stay in a reverse child's pose, hands to knees, or take your feet up towards the ceiling, clasp these fingers to big toes or outer edges of feet. A little rock side to side is a great option here. Take an inhale. Slowly bring your hands back to the outsides of your knees. Let the inner line of your thighs remain soft as you close your knees together. And then we'll take a little rock and roll along the length of our spine, all the way up into a standing forward fold. Take it up. Lift up halfway. Exhale, release down into your fold. Now hands to blocks. Lift, one-legged half lift. Left leg up and back. Press out through the heel. Take an inhale here. Exhale, bend your heel to your glute. Now you can stay here, work the hamstring strength, or take your right hand back, clasp the inside of your foot, reverse dancer's pose. Kick foot into hand, send your chest forward, maybe your gaze slightly forward. Yeah, beautiful. Take an inhale. Exhale. Next breath in, slowly reach back long through the leg. Step back into your lunge, take your blocks with you. Again, inhale, send your knee over your ankle, lift. Exhale, modified pyramid pose. Inhale, bend back into your knee. Exhale to pause. Reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, airplane through your torso. Now either stay here or launch onto your right foot. Full Vira 3 variation, airplane pose. Again, press out through your heel. Lift your left kneecap up your thigh. Rotate your left hip bone towards the earth to level off your pelvis. Take an inhale. Exhale, slow step back into your lunge once again. Take your right hand down, extended side ankle, open it out. Exhale to pause. Left hand to your hip, gaze forward, half moon pose. Ardha Chandrasana, once again, reach out through your heel, inhale. Exhale, bend your left knee, either stay or clasp the outside of the foot, Chapasana. Soft little micro bend in your right leg. Anchor down through your right big toe mound. Beautiful. Kick foot into hand. Last option here would be to drape your head back in the direction of your foot. Send your chest towards the left side of your space. Inhale. Exhale, slowly release the clasp. Reach back out, half moon. Exhale, slow step back into your lunge. Rise up, reverse warrior. Take your hands to the earth. Move your blocks aside. Chaturanga to your down dog. Yeah. Beautiful. Take an inhale here. Exhale here. Inhale, gaze forward on your mat. Bottom of exhale, step walker hop, top of space. Lift up halfway. Exhale, release, fold. Lift up halfway again, one-legged half lift, right leg up and back. Exhale, bend your right knee. Option to stay or take your left hand back, clasp the inside of your foot, kick foot into hand, send your chest forward, gaze forward perhaps. So good. Yeah, take a breath in. Nice, Allie. Slow release the foot, reach back through the heel, inhale. Slow step back into your lunge, exhale. Inhale, send your chest forward, bend your left knee. Exhale, modified pyramid pose. Inhale, bend back into your left knee. Pause for the exhale. Rise up, inhale, Anjaneyasana. Airplane through your torso, pause here or step onto your left foot, full airplane pose. Reach out through your heel once again. So good. Yes. Nice, Joanna. Take an inhale. Slow step back into your lunge. Plant your left hand, open it out, extended side angle. Utthita Parsva Konasana. Take a breath in here. Return your right hand to your hip, gaze forward. Launch onto your left foot, one or a half moon. Press out through your heel, pause. Bend your right knee, stay here or clasp the outside of your foot, Chapasana. Nice, Ashley, yeah. So send your chest over towards the right, kick into your hand, and then maybe the head drapes slightly back towards the lifted foot. Inhale. Exhale, release the foot. Reach out for a breath in. Slow step back into your lunge. Reverse warrior, reach up. Take your hands to the earth, plant. Step back, high plank to low plank to downward facing dog. Once in your downward facing dog, take a breath in. Lower your knees to the earth, set your hips back to your heels, and find a seat. Yeah, seat or child pose. If you need a few moments of rest in child pose, you can take that. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys where we're heading. So there's a few different postures that you can play with in this transition. You can stop in one posture and just work with one. If you have a strong expression of both of these postures, then you might try linking the two. So it's a really common transition. It's crow to chaturanga. So you might just work with crow. If your medicine for today is playing with this little arm balance, or you might just work with getting a really strong chaturanga embodied. So an upward facing dog. I'll give you a few little variations of your chaturanga too, if you want to work with that. So I'm going to show you first your crow pose. I like to come into crow with my feet together and come into a little toe stand and then bring my hands to the earth. Some people like to take it from malasana squat, so your toes would turn out, and then you set your hips low. You find the compression of your elbows towards your triceps first, up towards your armpits, and then you take it down and lift up through there. So essentially exactly the same things happening, just one is coming with the feet close, and then I widen the knees out, similar to those shapes that we were creating in our child's pose, like shape in our boat shape. So you'll plant your hands shoulder width distance, ground down first through the base knuckles of your thumbs, okay? Then bend your elbows. So the elbows bend back along your sides. If your elbows are bending out to the sides, you won't find the connection that you need to sustain the pose. So the elbows, tricep strength, pull your elbows in towards center. Then you find the connection of your upper knees towards your upper triceps, almost up towards your armpits. And then you might either lift one foot, maybe lift the other foot, maybe lift both feet. Now, if you have the lift of the feet, squeeze your heels to your glutes, send your gaze forward. Okay, the gaze forward sends your chest forward, helps to balance. Now, you might, if you have this strong pose and you have a strong chaturanga, you might shoot the legs back and land with your elbows at the height of your shoulders. Come to the tops of your feet, and then take it back, downward facing dog. So oftentimes it's a little less common when you come from crow pose back to chaturanga. It's more common when you come from a forward fold and then a lift halfway and a jump back, is that people will land with their arms straight. This puts a lot of strain in the shoulders, and we really want to land with the elbows bent. That being said, the most common misalignment for chaturanga or up dog is that the shoulders oftentimes come back or come past the line, the level of the elbows. So you would hinge forward. Oftentimes the elbows come down, or the shoulders come further down. That's how my partner, over time in practicing Vinyasa and Ashtanga yoga, tore his rotator cuff, was the shoulders coming lower than the elbows. And over time, it just puts wear and tear. So not saying that that's going to happen, but just be cautious. Be mindful that the shoulders are either landing a little bit above the height of the elbows. They can be here. And this is a really great modification as well, is to, like we did at the beginning, send the body forward. You would probably keep the legs long. You could squeeze the heels to the glutes, and then bring it down just a little bit. Then you could take the feet to the earth and lift up through up dog. So you can take it down through your knees and then into up dog. You just lift the hips away from the earth. So that being said, I'm all sweaty now. Crow pose, possible jump back to chaturanga. Only work with one of them if you feel not fully comfortable in either one, okay? So work with your up dog or work with your crow pose, and forego the linking of the two if you feel like your crow isn't totally there and steady and sturdy and you don't feel fully comfortable in your up dog, okay? And then again, you can also come through it from malasana. Your feet will just be wider, and then you'll take the knees up and then squeeze the heels to the glutes. So it requires a lot of hamstring strength. It requires a lot of glute strength, as well as tricep strength, of course. Yeah, nice, Ugly. Yeah, and the as you're in crow pose, if you're attempting to jump back, the look forward is really important. So the chest forward, gaze forward, and then hop back. Yeah, that's it. Nice. So a lot of demand and strength today, I'm aware. So if you feel ready to just take a more restorative posture on your back at any point, you're welcome to come onto your spine. Whew. You okay? Yeah. Yeah, and then additionally, as well as those muscle groups mentioned, triceps, hamstrings, glutes, the adduction squeeze. So the inner line of your thighs are working to squeeze onto your triceps. So the inner squeeze of your thighs into your triceps is super important for crow as well. That's why we come into malasana and work with that outer press of the elbows, squeeze back in with the knees. Cool. Yeah, take about 1 more minute of play. When you feel ready, just go ahead and come into a seat. We're going to take a seated forward fold here. So good. Maybe a shadow is, and it may be present for you, it may not. Comparison is a big shadow in life. Noticing where our shadows exist in the internal subtle body and the mind that holds us trapped. Bring your hands down by the earth or beside your hips. Fingertips point towards your heels. Press into your hands, lift and lengthen through your arms. Send your chest up, lift your spine up over your hips. Take an inhale here, flex your ankles, reach your kneecaps up your thighs, and an exhale, grip belly to the spine. Reach your arms with length up overhead. Grip your biceps alongside your ears. Reach up through your fingertips. You can stay here or fold forward. Create extension through the spine. So length first, peace fingers to big toes. You can bend your knees if you need to. Straighten your elbows, draw your shoulders away from your ears. Lift up. And then option to bend your elbows out by your sides as you fold in. Rounded back variation. Tuck your chin to your chest. And pause. Just breathe into the back line of the body. From tailbone up through the length of the vertebrae, through the cervical spine, and out through the back of the head. Take an inhale here. Exhale. If your spine is straight, come up with strength. If your spine is rounded, bring your fingertips to the earth outside of your legs. Press length into your arms as you slowly round up. Keep your chin tucked to your chest the whole time as you come up, and then lift your chin last. Take your feet wide on the mat, Upavishta Konasana. Flex the ankles, reach your kneecaps up your thighs, fingertips behind you. Again, reach length into your spine. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. You can stay here, or maybe fingertips to the inner line of your legs, fold into any degree. Option to create a little stack with your blocks and rest your forehead to the blocks. I encourage palms face up if your hands are on the earth, and just let the elbows be heavy. Fingertips to the earth. Again, let the chin, the head be heavy as you slowly press your way up. Bring the hands to the back line of your knees and lift your knees up a few inches. Then close your knees together. Feet to the earth. Reach your arms forward and up, and then roll all the way back onto your spine. Hug your knees into your chest. Pavanuktasana. Press your shins up into your hands as you squeeze your thigh bones back onto your rib cage, your low belly. And then take your left foot to the earth. Cross your entire thigh over the top of your left. We're going to come into a supine twist. Now this is optional, the cross of the thigh. You can always take the left leg long, squeeze the right knee into the side body, and then twist from there. More traditional twist. Or cross your whole thigh over the top of your left. Option to take a single wrap or a double wrap. It's an eagle wrap of the leg. So the foot might come behind your left shin, calf. Reach your arms out by your sides. Press through your left foot, bump your hips over towards the right, and then lower both knees over towards the left. So the cross here of the thighs over one another enables a little deeper stretch into the outer hip as well. Slowly, slowly rise back up through center. Switch the cross. Press down through your right foot, bump your hips over towards the left slightly, and then guide your knees over towards the right. Slowly roll back onto your spine. Uncross your legs. Hug both knees back into your chest. One final squeeze here. And then find your final Shavasana. So just stretch your legs long. Reach your arms out by your sides. Relinquish the breath. Just allow the body, the mind, the heart, the being to be fully present here for these last couple of moments together. The mantra I'll share today is 2 mantras of the moon, the lunar essence of our being that we each hold within us, the rhythms, the cycles of life. Slowly invite deeper breath back into your body. When you feel ready, reach your arms up overhead, full body stretch. Roll to your side, come all the way up into a seat. As you arrive in a seat with a tall, upright spine, if you feel called, rest palm to palm in front of your heart. We'll pause here for one cycle of breath and one sound of Om together to finish our time. Exhale your air out. Deep breath in. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale for one sound of Om. Bow chin to chest. Bowing to this self, this life, this existence, these cycles as they come and they go, they ebb and they flow. Bowing to the sacred roots of this tradition, all of the many lineages that allows us to have this timeless wisdom in our grasp, to hold on to without attachment, to embody our lives on a fuller, deeper level. Lift your thumbs up to the space between your eyebrows. I bow deeply to each one of you in reverence and love